Hi traders, welcome to my video where I'm going to show you how you can automate trading strategies in the MT4 trading platform. Here you can see the MT4 trading platform. Here is the strategy tester window. This is where you can test expert advisors or trading robots if you prefer. So what you need to do first of all is you need to find an expert advisor. You can use the link in the description. I have many free expert advisors that you can download and use free of charge in your MT4 trading platform. In this video, I'm just going to run through the various ways in which you can test and configure these expert advisors to your liking. You can use them semi-automated, so they send you signals, or you can use them fully automated, so they handle everything from placing trades to managing positions as well. Okay, so what you need to do in your MT4 platform, once you've downloaded the expert advisor, you just go to View, Navigator, and you select the Navigator window, and this will display this window here. On the side, where you can find your expert advisors, just make sure you put them in the correct folder. So that's the MT4 Experts Advisors folder. Okay. And you simply load your chart. So I've got a Euro dollar 1 hour chart here. Okay, and once you've loaded your chart, you just drag the EA and you drop it on your chart. Okay, from here, there's a few things you can do. So under the Commons tab, you can choose if you want the EA to trade long and short or long only and short only. Okay, you can enable alerts, allow live trading. So this will actually let the EA place trades for you. Some EAs require libraries and imports. So I always leave those selected. Just be careful what you are allowing there. Under the Inputs tab, this is where you can configure all of the EA settings. So this is a super trend EA that I've coded. Again, this is a free EA that you can download using the link in the description below. So you just can choose the different settings. I do have a video on this super trend EA, which you can check out, which explains all of the settings in great detail. So you've got alerts, use trading, trade direction, so on and so forth. You've got your money management. You can configure your stop loss and take profit, trailing stop, break even, and the indicator settings. So in this particular EA, there's the parabolic SAR, all the different time frames, so 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, all the way up to the monthly charts. You can set to true or false. You can adjust the settings as well, the indicators. So you've got the parabolic SAR, stochastic. You can set the stochastic trend to true or false, and the stochastic being extreme to true or false, and then the super trend indicator as well, true or false, and the other settings there. Okay, so that's basically how you load an expert advisor on the chart. Once you've changed your settings to something that suits you, you can click save here and save the settings and load, just to load the settings at a later date. But once you've finished amending the settings according to your own preferences, you just click OK. And you'll see there the trade has been placed right away. Okay. And the EA is displaying in the top right hand corner there with a smiley face. That's super trend EA, which means that it's running on the chart. The reason the EA is placed a trade there is because we didn't have anything activated. We can amend it so it will place a trade according to the indicators that we wish, whether that's a super trend or stochastic or parabolic. So as I said, there is a video that explains all of the settings in detail. Okay, so that's how you load the EA on a chart. Again, I can just show you if we get pound dollar chart there, we can open up the chart. We can take the super trend EA, just drop it on your chart. This time we're just going to say, okay, you only take a trade if this is a 1 hour chart, so let's just say if the parabolic SAR on the 1 hour chart is agreeing, stochastic trend is agreeing, so that's true, and the stochastic extreme on this chart 1 hour is true, and the super trend is also true as well. So all of those conditions would have to be met for the EA to place a trade. Just click OK, and the EA is loaded on the chart. Top right hand corner, super trend EA. You can see a trade hasn't been placed straight away here because we need to wait for all of those conditions to be met. You can, of course, put the indicators on the chart. So we'll put the parabolic SAR on there, the stochastic oscillator on there as well. Just zoom in a few there. Okay, and finally the super trend. Let's just have a look for the super trend indicator somewhere here. Okay, for some reason that's not loading. We can always find it under here somewhere. Indicators. Let's just look for it. Super trend, where are you? Okay. Here we go. So we just place that on the chart there. There you go. Okay, so we have the super trend indicator, the parabolic SAR, and the stochastic. So we know these are the indicators that the expert advisor is using. You can always right-click the chart, expert advisors, properties, click that, and then this is where you can just adjust the settings if need be. You can see where we had the parabolic SAR set to true, stochastic set to true, stochastic extreme set to true, and super trend all set to true. So what that basically means, they all have to agree for a buy trade or all have to agree for a sell trade. So in this particular EA, buy trade would be prices above the super trend, above the parabolic SAR, and the stochastic is extremely oversold and is trending upwards. Vice versa for a sell trade. So for a sell trade, you would want the stochastic in this extremely overbought area, which it is, crossing downwards, which it isn't, and you'd also want for a sell trade price to be below the super trend, which it is. However, it needs to be below the parabolic SAR as well, which it isn't. So if the parabolic SAR does move up above the price here and the stochastic does cross down, then we can expect the expert advisor to place a trade for us. Okay, so you can configure this EA to use, just the stochastics, just the super trend, just the parabolic SAR, a combination of two of the indicators and conditions. It's just up to you. You can also have it just to send you signals rather than trade automatically. I also have another EA, again, link in the description below, which combines nearly all of the indicators in the MT4 platform along with price action patterns. So you can create basically any strategy you can think of. Perhaps you want to use moving averages with a MACD, RSI, CCI, Bollinger Bands, envelopes. All the various candlestick patterns all can be set to true or false as well. So that is a handy expert advisor that can automate your trading strategies. Okay, another thing I'm going to cover in this video, just quickly, you can always go to expert advisors and just click remove if you want to remove it from your chart. You can also save templates as well. So you just go template, save template, and you can load the template at a later date on your charts. Okay, that will include the expert advisor for you as well. Just makes it easier if you want to perhaps load, 10, 20 charts out, different instruments, different time frames, and just simultaneously track them all. Okay, so if you go to view and you click strategy tester, you'll get this window here. This is the strategy tester window. So this is where you can test the various settings of expert advisors. As I said, I do have a video that goes into this in great detail, including one for this super trend EA, which covers all the various settings you can use, but I'll just give a brief analysis on here. So you choose the expert advisor you want to test there, okay? And you can choose the symbol you want to test on. So let's just say euro dollar. For the model, you can use open prices only. That's just rough testing. This EA does use open prices, so we can do that to begin with. However, it's a lot faster. That's why I would select that. However, I would certainly go to every tick testing when I'm fine-tuning some settings, just because it's more accurate when it comes to things like stop loss, take profit, trailing stop, break even. So uses intra-bar 1 minute prices. Okay, you're still never going to get 100% accurate back test because it's obviously based on historical data and you cannot simulate real market conditions when it comes to things such as slippage, spreads, obviously market liquidity, so on and so forth. Okay, use date. So this is the date you want to optimize for. Generally, the longer you test an EA for, the more accurate conclusions you can draw from the results, in my opinion. You know, if it performs well over 20 years of data, there's a higher chance those settings are more reliable than if you just tested the past year or two. Okay. But for the sake of this video, we'll just do the past year or so. Okay. Visual mode, if you check visual mode, this will just run the chart. You can put the indicators on there and just watch how the EA trades. Period, so this is the time frame you want to test. Let's go 1 hour time frame. I prefer longer term time frame charts just because I find signals tend to be more reliable. It's because there's more price data included. Okay, less noise. For the spread, you can use the current market spread. Just be wary that if you have this set to current and you're trying to backtest on the weekend, the spreads are likely going to be higher than usual. Okay, so in that case, you might just want to manually put in a figure here, depending on your broker. Okay, obviously be mindful of commissions as well. So you can go to expert properties here in the strategy tester. Again, you can choose your trade direction. What parameter matters most to you, balance, profit factor, drawdown, I just leave it on balance. Under the optimization tab, you can select if you want to filter results that only meet these requirements, and then you can adjust the options there in the relevant fields. So under inputs, you just select the inputs you want to test. So let's just say, we've got the stop loss check, take profit, close on opposite signal, break even, trailing stop, all of the different indicators. You see these boxes. When you check these boxes, they'll be included in the optimization, and then you just choose the values you want to optimize. So in the stop loss, for example, we've checked that box. We want to start at 25, so 25 pips. We want to go up in 25 increments, and we'll stop at 50. So this will mean strategy tester will do the stop loss at 25 and 50 pips. Okay, for the take profit, we start at 50, going up in 50 steps and stopping at 300. So in this case, it will optimize a take profit at 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, and 300, so on and so forth. You can choose as many settings as you want, just there is a limit, but you'd have to be testing a lot of settings to reach that limit, and the platform will let you know that. You just have to reduce the amount of settings you're trying to optimize. Generally speaking, the more that you choose, the longer the optimization will take. But if you have this genetic algorithm checked, the strategy tester will throw away results that doesn't think will produce good results, so it does make things faster. If you uncheck that, it will do every single combination for the optimization, which can take a long time, depending again on how many settings you have selected to optimize and the power of your machine. I just leave that checked and click OK, click optimization, click start. And then the strategy tester will test this automated strategy and show you the results. If you have an idea you want to automate, as I said, and you're using the MT4 platform, you can use the link in the description below. Help yourself to the free EAs that I've developed, including one with the majority of the MT4 indicators built in, so you can practically optimize any strategy you can think of. Other ways, you can hire people to code an idea for you to automate your strategy, or you can just learn MQL coding and do it yourself. There are generators out there as well. I've reviewed many which you can use to generate your own expert advisors based on ideas that you may have. Okay, and then you can always optimize the settings here, keeping in mind that this is based on historical data and there's no guarantee of results moving forward. So if we go under the optimization results tab here, we will see the results of the various combinations we selected. See with the different stop loss, take profits, true or false, and all the settings there. You can just sort what matters to you the most: so profit, number of trades, profit factor, expected payout for drawdown in monetary or percentage value. So just let that run. We are doing the past year on the euro dollar 1 hour chart. You can do any instrument and chart time frame that you prefer. Okay, you can see some decent results coming in. We'll just let this run. So yeah, as I was saying, with automated systems as well, you can always do them semi-automated. In this one, if you just go in the properties, you can set email, SMS, and pop-up alerts to true, and always turn trading off. In this instance, you just get a pop-up box on the platform, or an email or SMS telling you, okay, there's been a sell signal on the pound dollar 1 hour chart, and then you can fire up your platform, have a look, and see if you wanted to manually take that trade or not. This is also handy. Say you're already in a position and you want to be notified when there's a certain criteria that's met. You can leave use trading set to false, but set alerts up. For example, if let's say you're in a sell trade, you were in a sell trade here, and you wanted an alert when the stochastic became oversold down here, just to check the position. You might look to, lock in the trade at break even or profit, or move the stop loss, close part of the position, maybe close all the position. You can just be alerted when certain conditions have changed to help you manage your positions. Okay, optimization results. So we'll just sort by profit. Let's see, just choose the highest profit one. If you double click it, what that will do is it will load those particular settings into the inputs for you, and you can just click save that set file. Perhaps you save it and call it super trend euro dollar 1 hour chart. You can always load that at a later date. So click OK, and now the optimization is unchecked. We've loaded those settings from the top performer in terms of profit, and then we click start, and it will run an individual back test, and there you go. From our optimization, that was the top performer in terms of profit. It may not necessarily be the best. You can filter through, you can sort by profit factor, perhaps that matters more too. But if we just go by pure profit, that was the leading performer. Just be wary that has been optimized for a particular data set, which is the past year on this euro dollar 1 hour time frame. That's basically curve fitting, which is just doing as many random combinations as possible to see what produces good results, and then using those settings, which does not necessarily mean that is a solid strategy. It can just be pure luck that curve fitting over optimized for that data. Because if we go back further 2 years, run the exact same settings and see what happens, you can see things are not looking great. That's because we only optimize for the past year, which is why I wouldn't rely on over optimization. Instead, I would use an expert advisor to help with making manual trading decisions, and again, as I said, for managing positions as well. Don't get me wrong, there will be instances where you will stumble across EAs that use universal settings on multiple instruments and timeframes, which shows that there is a solid strategy behind it, but it is quite rare. And again, a lot of people would just say, okay, well, what I'll do is let me just click optimize, and I'll optimize over that data and find good sets for the last 3 years. Okay, which you can do. Okay, you can go back 10 years, 20 years, keep going back. You can go back 20 years and find good settings, but it can still be curve fitted, over optimized, or just random for that particular data set without any sort of logic. But generally speaking, the longer the data set you test over, it shows how it would have performed for various market conditions. But ideally, you want something that uses logic, not just throwing a load of random settings and signals and true false switches at something and looking for what produces good results, because that's just as I said for the millionth time, curve fitting, and it can give you false hope. You can see, oh wow, I've got the best EA ever here, is churning out this much profit. If I run it, it's going to make that much profit moving forward, but that's not the case. This again is based on historical data. But you can automate your strategy, especially if you're using a manual strategy. Let's say, for example, your strategy, you're looking to take extreme. You're looking to trade with the trend on pullback. So you could say, okay, there's a clear trend we can see here. Okay, we know that by the super trend indicator showing us the parabolics are, is the majority below the price. And then you could say, okay, in this scenario, I know that there's been support. Okay, I know that the price is making higher lows. So I'm looking for long trades only. I'm not taking short trades, I'm trading with the trend. So I'm going to get this EA and I'm going to tell it to alert me when the stochastic is extremely oversold in an upwards trend. And then I'm going to look to enter on this pullback. And if you had an alert here, you fired up your chart and you've seen this pullback here, you may have said, okay, great, now is my opportunity to either enter on the pullback straight away. You can see that, you know, you've got these bullish candlestick patterns. You've got the market making these higher lows here. You might have taken the trade based on that, or you might have just said, okay, let me mark that resistance level there. I'm going to trade on that breakout. You can see this resistance becomes support. Could have waited for the parabolic SAR. You see it was above there. You could have waited for it to change below. Again, the EA could have alerted you to that. This is the 1 hour chart, so you could have even gone into the 50-minute, 5-minute charts and then traded this breakout of resistance here. Resistance becomes support. You know, you've got a 3 inside up candlestick pattern there as well. So there are many ways in which you can use expert advisors to help you with your trader strategy. I do feel semi-automated is probably best, and that way you maintain some control over your trading. If we go back to the optimization results we were running, and we'll just stop it there. Okay, what's the top performer? So this one, we'll just double click that, loads the settings, click start for the individual test. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad at all, but what was that for the last 3 or so years? If we add on another 2 years, run the same settings, there you go. Probably know exactly where optimization started, around here somewhere, as the chart started to move up, because that's what we optimized for, whereas you can see the settings before that were not so great. Okay, so yeah, hopefully you've got an idea there of how to automate your trading strategies in the MT4 platform. Granted, I have used a pre-prepared expert advisor there, but as I said, you can use the link in the description. You'll find an MT4 EA, which has plenty of indicators, price action patterns, money management signals, so on and so forth built in, which you can use to your heart's content. Just be careful of over-optimizing. Perhaps just use them as helping you to track multiple symbols and time frames. You know, if you don't want to sit and stare at charts all day, you can just set up email alerts and be alerted when things happen. You know, the MACD crosses the signal line, MACD crosses the 0 line, and Bollinger Bands has a breakout. You know, moving average cross. If you have a unique idea based on a unique indicator that you want to automate for the MT4 platform, if you know how to code in MQR, I assume you're not really watching this video. If you don't know how to code, you can even learn how to do it, or you can use an expert advisor generator software. Still a bit of a learning curve, or you can just go and hire somebody on MQR jobs, for example, who would be happy to do it for you. Okay, thanks for watching. If you can like and subscribe, that'd be great, and I hope to catch you on the next one.